Welcome to High Performance Pilot, where together we'll discover the secrets to improving our operational performance and so become more effective pilots. To achieve this, we're going to examine the required skills, knowledge and attitudes, collectively known as the Core Competency Matrix. I'm David Summers, and in this episode we explore plans, prioritises and schedules, a behaviour within the competency of workload management. We'll examine what it is, why we need to be proficient in it, and finally, how we are going to achieve it. At the end, I'll present an example of its use and finally sum up with key takeaways. The 9 core competencies should not be seen as 9 individual elements. Effective operation requires them to be used together, effectiveness in one being dependent on effectiveness in the others. They are all interconnected. Workload management is a critical competency that ensures we as pilots effectively handle the demands and tasks associated with our roles. Successful workload management is a result of proficiency in the competencies of leadership and teamwork and communication, the end result being a high degree of situational awareness. So what is the behaviour of plans, prioritises and schedules? Operating aircraft involves a large number of tasks, processes and people, both on the ground and in the air. These are all competing for our attention and vying for the number one spot. Being effective in this behaviour enables us to understand which are the most important at any particular time. Put simply, it refers to our ability to effectively manage our tasks, responsibilities and demands during flight operations. It encompasses the following elements. Planning. We must engage in detailed planning to anticipate and organise our workload effectively. This includes reviewing flight plans, weather conditions and operational requirements. We must also consider factors such as fuel, passenger needs and aircraft performance. By planning ahead, pilots can establish a clear pathway for managing our workload throughout the flight. Prioritisation. Prioritising tasks is crucial to ensure that essential and time-sensitive responsibilities receive appropriate attention. We must assess and categorise tasks based on their urgency, criticality and impact on safety and operational requirements. This includes prioritising actions related to flight safety, emergency procedures, communication with air traffic control and adherence to standard operating procedures. Scheduling. Effective scheduling involves allocating time and resources to complete tasks efficiently. We must create a well-structured schedule that considers flight phases, crew duty time limitations and operational requirements. By carefully scheduling tasks, we can manage our workload in a manner that maximises efficiency, minimises stress and promotes safe flight operations. By effectively applying this behaviour, aviation professionals can optimise resources, enhance safety and improve overall productivity. Now we know what it is, let's look at why plans, prioritises and schedules is important for workload management. First up, safety. Effective workload management is directly linked to flight safety. By planning and scheduling tasks, we ensure we have sufficient time and resources to focus on critical safety-related responsibilities, such as monitoring the aircraft systems, maintaining situational awareness and executing emergency procedures. Prioritising safety-critical tasks mitigates risks and contributes to a safe operating environment. Secondly, stress reduction. Our industry is dynamic and demanding, and we can often face high-pressure situations. Efficient planning, prioritization and scheduling of tasks help reduce stress levels by providing a structured approach to managing workload. When we have a clear plan and well-defined priorities, we can focus on executing our responsibilities without feeling overwhelmed. Thirdly, task completion. By effectively managing our workload, pilots can enhance task completion rates. Strategic planning and prioritization ensure that essential tasks are completed on time and with the necessary attention to detail. This behaviour helps prevent tasks from being overlooked or delayed, ensuring that flight operations proceed smoothly. And lastly, decision making. Proper planning, prioritization and scheduling provides us with a framework for effective decision making. By having a clear understanding of our workload and its associated priorities, we can make informed decisions in real time, considering factors such as weather changes, air traffic control instructions, and operational requirements. This behaviour enhances decision-making capabilities, contributing to safe and efficient flight operations. We now understand what and why. Let us move on to the most important part: how do we effectively demonstrate the behaviour of plans, prioritises and schedules? Number 1. Pre-flight planning. By engaging in comprehensive pre-flight planning, we establish a clear understanding of the tasks and responsibilities associated with the upcoming flight. Reviewing weather briefings, NOTAMs and operational documentation identifies potential challenges and threats. This allows for proactive planning and effective allocation of resources. Number 2. Task prioritization. Prioritize tasks based on their importance, urgency, and impact on safety. Identify safety-critical actions, regulatory compliance requirements, and time-sensitive responsibilities. By assigning priorities, we can focus on tasks that directly contribute to safety and operational efficiency. Number 3. Time management. Create a well-structured schedule that allocates sufficient time for each task. Consider flight phases, crew duty time limitations, and operational requirements when developing the schedule. Allow for flexibility to accommodate unforeseen circumstances, but maintain discipline in adhering to the established schedule. Number 4. Communication and delegation. Effectively communicate with all members of the crew and delegate tasks when appropriate. Clear communication ensures shared understanding and coordination of workload management strategies. Delegation helps distribute tasks among the crew members, optimizing workload and allowing for efficient task completion. And that is how we put this behaviour into practice. We've now completed what, why and how with respect to the behaviour plans, prioritises and schedules within the core competency of workload management. To reinforce what's been discussed, here is an example of when it is utilised. The approach and landing. During this critical phase of flight, we have to manage multiple tasks and responsibilities while ensuring the safe arrival of the aircraft. We need to plan and prioritise our actions based on the established procedures and regulations. Here's how we could apply this behaviour. Planning. We need to plan our approach and landing based on factors such as weather conditions, air traffic control instructions, and airport procedures. We need to consider variables like runway length, aircraft weight, and performance limitations to determine the appropriate approach and landing configuration. But most importantly of all, we need to plan for the expected threats and how we are going to execute the approach and landing. This planning phase is more commonly called the briefing. Prioritising. With limited time and resources, we must prioritise our actions to maintain situational awareness and safety. We should allocate our attention and workload effectively by focusing on critical tasks such as flying the aircraft, pilot flying, monitoring the flying, pilot monitoring. Other priorities are monitoring aircraft systems, communicating with air traffic control, and conducting required checklists. Scheduling. We need to establish a schedule for performing specific tasks during the approach and landing phase. For example, schedule when to extend the landing gear, configure the flaps, and perform final checks before touchdown. We need to adhere to predefined timelines and sequences to ensure smooth and controlled operation of the aircraft, whilst maintaining flexibility to deal with unforeseen circumstances. By effectively planning, prioritising and scheduling our tasks, we can manage our workload and reduce the risk of errors or oversights, and mitigate the identified and perhaps non-identified threats. This behaviour helps us maintain control, stay organised, and handle the complexities involved in safely bringing the aircraft to the runway during the approach and landing phase. Our industry has moved to a threat and error management model where we seek to operate with knowledge of the threats involved so we can avoid or mitigate them. Before moving on to summarise the behaviour of plans, prioritises and schedules, we'll take a look at the threats produced by lack of compliance with it. Increased risk of accidents. When we do not adhere to established plans and schedules, we may rush or skip essential steps, leading to critical mistakes that can result in accidents or incidents. Decreased efficiency and productivity. When tasks are not properly planned or prioritised, time, effort and resources are wasted. Delays in completing critical tasks at their worst reduce safety margins and at best create inefficiency and delays. Impaired decision-making and cognitive overload. When tasks and responsibilities are not appropriately managed and distributed according to predetermined plans and schedules, we may experience cognitive overload. This reduces spare capacity, decreases situational awareness, and increases the chance of errors, omissions, and poor judgment. In conclusion, being proficient in planning, prioritising and scheduling is a critical behaviour in achieving a safe outcome during aviation operations. Being effective in this behaviour increases our spare capacity and so increases situational awareness and allows for effective threat and error management. To reinforce the message, here are some key takeaways. Effective plans, prioritizations and schedules are vital for workload management in aviation. Proper planning enhances safety, reduces stress and promotes efficient task completion. Prioritizing tasks based on their importance and impact on safety is crucial for effective workload management. Well-structured schedules enable us to manage our workload efficiently and make informed decisions. Pre-flight planning, task prioritization, time management, and effective communication contribute to successful workload management. By demonstrating the behaviour of plans, prioritises, and schedules, we can optimize our performance, ensure safety, and enhance overall efficiency in managing our workload. These podcasts have an ultimate aim: to stimulate interest in the core competencies and inspire you to seek them out and apply them to further improve your effectiveness as a pilot. High Performance Pilot. Each week, one behaviour from one competency. We will break it down and provide tips and advice on how to make it a strength in your toolkit. Join me next week. If you wish to contribute or ask a question, please email me at david@sim2sky.com.